Hey guys, Cathryn Hartt here of Heart and Soul Studio, the unacting coach. I have a question for you. What pushes your buttons? Yeah, I know it pushes mine, yet so did my last two husbands. Oh, actually there were only two. I'm sorry, I get confused. But that's another story. So we are constantly, as human beings, having our buttons pushed, something that makes you really mad or really happy or inspires you or drags you down into the dumps. We're always getting, stirred up by life. Hopefully, otherwise life is kind of boring. But just remember, your characters are human beings just like us. They have all the little nuances, all the little problems, all of the little habits that we have. And keeping that in mind, what is pushing your character's buttons? I bet most of you know that you're supposed to be reacting and you're not just supposed to be saying lines and, just flailing your hands around out there when you're doing good acting. And maybe some of you who are brand new to this don't know that, but don't do that stuff. We are supposed to be reacting. But what I see a lot of times when people come to me for audition tapes or in class, they are doing what I call very lovely acting. So if you're in my class and I tell you just did a really nice acting scene, I am not giving you a compliment. I'm telling you, I just saw your acting. Hence why they call me the unacting coach, because I'm always saying, I don't want to see your acting. That's not good acting. I should forget your acting and get lost in it. And the only reason that I will get lost in it is if you get lost in it. So, I need you to do spontaneity. To me, personally, that is the holy grail of any acting that I do, is I want to be spontaneous, organic and spontaneous. It's happening right then. That's the magic, and that's what makes it wonderful. That's what's fun to do, and that's what's fun to watch. So, how do I do that? How do I guarantee that it's not going to just look like I practiced doing a reaction and I put it in right where I practiced doing it? It worked so beautifully the first time I rehearsed it, but now every time I do it, I just do it. To me, that's like the difference between playing notes and making music. Music is when you add your soul and it happens. You're playing the right notes. You played them every time, but every time you also have to let go and just let your emotions take you along with those notes to make beautiful music. That's what we do as actors too. We make beautiful music. So how do I do this? Well, let me give you a little exercise to start with. Close your eyes for a second, and I always take a second with all of my students too to get you into your little zone there, what I call the zone. And it's like you go through a little door, and that takes you into your imagination and subconscious where all the good stuff is. So just close your eyes and breathe slowly in through your nose and out through your mouth, and in through your nose and out through your mouth. And with your eyes closed, I just want you to start to remember a moment in your life when you were truly happy. Just the first thing that pops into your subconscious there. Where were you? Look around and see exactly where you are, what you're feeling, who's there, or are you alone? And just take a moment to savor that really happy moment. And now open your eyes. Now, I do this little exercise in class sometimes, and every single time I do that, I ask every single student, where did you go? What was that moment? And every single time they say, well, my grandmother had just baked me cookies, or I had just won this wonderful award, or I was sitting on a beach and the breeze was blowing. They never just describe how they felt being happy. They always tell me what it was that made them happy. Something pushed their buttons. So, when you act, remember your character's a real human being. You want to encourage that, something to push your button. So, let's make it real simplistic. Let's make a little game out of it, a little exercise. If you just think simplistically, I have a button I want pushed, and every single thing that moves in front of me right now, like a little kitten, anything that moves is going to push that button. It could be the air. Oh my gosh, the air is so still, I'm feeling stifled. It could be your eyes. feel. It could be what you just said to me. Why did you say that to me? It could be anything. But I am going to pick a little button, basically, and everything is going to push my button. Now, of course, we have lots of buttons that are going to get pushed, but as an exercise, I suggest that you just take one button. You could do this with your friends or another actor, or just take a scene and do it to yourself in a mirror or something. But choose a button, a singular button right now that you're gonna push. Say everything that anybody else does makes you angry. And if I'm working in a class, I'll look at some poor little kid or a lovely lady or a man in the class who's just looking at me sweetly, and I will start saying things like, "Why are you looking at me like that? Hey, oh, you think this is funny? Really? Why is the air so still in here?" And I'll start getting madder and madder, my poor students. And then I'll just stop and I go, "Okay, so anything you did made me mad. I chose that. It's a game. I absolutely just chose that. Now you guys do it," and I'll have them do it with each other. Like, choose a button, and everything the other person does pushes that button. It's a great way to do improv too. Everything the other person does drives you crazy. So try that for just a little game, so that you start to think more about not what I'm saying or what I'm doing to the other person so much, but I'm looking in their eyes for something that is going to cause me to react, to feel. Something's going to push my buttons, and I'm not allowed to say my lines until that happens. Sort of like looking for the why. I can't do anything unless I know why. I can't do anything as an actor unless you do something. I can't. I'll just shut up. I won't say my line. Of course the line will come out. It's just going to come out a split second later because first I had to see you. And especially when you do audition tapes, guys, I can tell a huge difference in an audition tape if you're acting at someone and trying to look like you're seeing them, or if you see that child and you really see her and she's breaking your heart. I can see if you see. It's camera. It's right up your nose. I can see in your eyes. So, think about it. Play with it a little bit. New game. What's pushing your buttons? Go play.